Hi guys, this is Debbie from Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today we're going to be making these real cute little secret slider cards. I can't claim ownership of this idea. I saw this on Jeniffer McGuire and it was just too cute, and I'm in the mood to make some Christmas cards, so I did these. This is how this one looks. So we've got a little Santa there in the front, and then when you slide it up it says ho ho ho, so I thought that was really cute. And it's on a card base, and we've got an inside message too. This one is a little bit different. We've got the sentiment on the front, which is the same as that one, and a little elf on the front, and then when we slide it up it says, are you on the list? So naughty or nice, are you on the list? And again, we've got that cute little sentiment there. The stamp set that I'm using for this is from Sweet and Sassy. I just got these, didn't really know what I was going to do with them, and then stamped them out and just thought that those images were just so super cute, so I stamped out a bunch. And then when I was coloring those using my Spectrum Noir markers, I was watching the video that Jeniffer McGuire put up this week having to do with that surprise slider. So I just had to make some of those. So I've done a few this morning, and I'm going to walk you through how I'm making the next one. So we're starting off with, I used some pattern paper that was in one of my packs from last year. This pack was actually from Craftsmith. I'd gotten that at Michael's as a hot buy, and it was called Merry Everything, and that was one of my packs from last year. And the colors just went perfect, and I went with traditional Christmas colors on these. The card I'm going to make right now is going to be with this little guy. It's a little elf peeking through that window. And first step we do for that is to figure out exactly where we're going to be putting the slider. Now this one, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have it as a side slider. The other ones that I had done, the paper had the Merry Christmas and it was in vertical, but this one has it, horizontal, so I'm going to do, in landscape. So we're going to do that, but to mark off where I'm going to be cutting the slits, if you've watched Jennifer's video, if you haven't, I'm going to put a link to it below, but in Jennifer's video she talks about how you basically just need a couple of slits in this to create that slider. You don't need any special dies or anything like that. So turn that over so we can write on that. And I want him to be right here in the middle. So I don't want him to stop to slide any further than that. That's kind of where I want the top to be. And then we'll want it to come in just about a quarter of an inch or so. One thing you do have to be very careful about is make sure that this space in between here is wide enough for your sentiment to go in. So this time it's going to work out fine. On the ones that I did vertical, to start off with, the first one I did, I didn't have enough room for it. For these, I'll have plenty of room for that, and it'll be hidden behind that little guy. So to cut the slits, you can either use a craft knife, or I'm going to be using my Fisker rotary trimmer. And I'm wanting the slits to go that way. Just get that position right. So I'm going to be cutting between these two lines, and I'm going to cut a vertical slit there. So that's the first one, and then we've got the second one. So you see we've got those two vertical slits there. And I just dropped my paper trimmer, so sorry about all the noise. The next thing, if I can remember where I put it on my desk, the next thing I'm needing for this is going to be some acetate. I've already cut some pieces. Here's one. You can probably see that. And this one's a little bit shorter, but just the right size. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing on this side so you can see, we're going to be making it so it's got the little feet that's going to be the stoppers for my slider. And I'm just going to take some double-sided tape. And since this is going this way, I need the stoppers to be on that end. And you can use whatever tape works good for you. Another quick tip so that you don't make the same mistake I did. The first one I did, I didn't tape it on both sides of the acetate. I only did it on one. When I did that, this did not want to slide over the image that I taped, that I adhered to my base. And you don't want to go too close to the edge because again, it just will not want to slide. So that's another mistake that I've made a few times. Okay, and I'll put a couple more pieces on there because I do want it to stay together pretty good. You can use your score tape, whatever you want, whatever you have. Do try to use some strong adhesive though to make sure that it stays good. Score tape works well, but I already had this this tape that I had from Joann's from Miss Sparkle, so I went ahead and used that. And I'm going to trim off that because that's showing over the edge. I don't want it to show. Okay. So this is the way it's going to look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slide the pieces of acetate under those slits. And sometimes it's difficult to do it. That one went through good. So what we're going to have is it's going to slide back and forth like that. Okay? Next step. Oh, that's actually about the right size. Perfect. So next step we're going to need is something to adhere the slider to, rather the front to, so it's going to slide out. And I'm using about 2.5, I think that's 2.5, yeah, 2.5 inch wide, because my images here are about 2 inches, they're 2 inches square. So in order for it to go just past it by about 1/4 inch, then I can, that's why I'm using this side a little bit larger. To do that, to adhere it on there, I'm going to go back to using my tape again. And this time I'm going to slide it under the acetate facing up, so the sticky side is up. Again on both sides, both top and bottom. And then same thing on this side. And then I'm going to just adhere this on there, try to keep it straight. Which is why you have a grid map. I mean a grid mat. Wobbling a little bit, but that's because we haven't finished putting everything together yet. So now I'm going to just position it about where I want and then take a couple pieces of some washi tape to hold it in place. And then we're going to put some foam adhesive on the back. And looking at that, that is a little bit crooked, so I'm going to have to loosen these again. That's what you get for being slightly OCD. Okay, and that is because the card is a little bit crooked. Okay. Everything is fixable. Now it's straight, and then we're going to clip off the rest of the acetate off the edges because we don't need those there. Get out some foam tape. Now the foam tape I'm using today, this is the first time I've tried it out, was today. I bought this on Amazon and the price was real good. I haven't decided yet if I like it or not yet, but it seems to be working okay. You'll want to put the foam adhesive close to the edge of your slider, but not touching it. If it touches it, that means the slider's not going to move. If it's too far away, then it's going to make the slider be wobbly. And what did I just do? I just put it on the on the slider. finishing this up, I'll go ahead and give you the measurements of the top cards that I've used. So for the panel, I'm using 3 3/4 by 5. You want to make this card, the total card, a little bit smaller than what would be normally in an envelope to make sure that it's going to fit. Because of the slider tab at the top, sometimes they don't fit quite well in the envelope, so you do need to make it a little bit smaller. Also, since there's some dimension, you probably want to make it a little smaller as well. Make sure everything fits. I mentioned before that the slider mechanism I'm doing at 2.5 inches wide, and then the little image on the inside was right around 2 inches. And that's just what I've got for today. You'll use, of course, whatever stamps and such that you've got, so it'll be different. Oh gosh, that is just too cute. And then, there we go, it slides just fine. So what I'm going to do next, I've already stamped out a couple of other stamps from that set. One is the naughty or nice, and I'm going to either put that up at the top or at the bottom. Haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to put it at the bottom. And then when you slide it open, there's going to be this little message. Are you on the list? Okay. And on this we've got a little Santa hat, so I'm going to color that in with some red. This is my DR2 marker from Spectrum Noir. And then I'm going to use LG3, I think, just to add a little bit of green. Oh, this is LG4 rather. I'm just going to use my standard dot liner. I have found that this works a lot easier on this part because this is the part that I keep on shifting around and changing my mind. And so I don't want to have it too stuck for that. I think I'm going to put it right about there. Perfect. And then same thing for this other sentiment. Okay, so next I've got some red cardstock. This is just Recollections cardstock. Pretty much everything that I'm using is Recollections. For the regular part, my card base is Recollections 110 300 GSM, and this is their standard, I believe it's 96, I think it's 96 pound, but it is a bit more flimsy than the 300 GSM. I like the 300 GSM just because it is so much sturdier for my card bases. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put it behind, so we're going to mat the panel with that, and the red I cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Like I said, it's going to be slightly smaller than a regular card base. This is part of the reason I haven't decided if I like this stuff yet or not. It's a bit harder to come off, and it sometimes sticks. Like here, it's the paper, release paper, is stuck to the foam. But by the time I finish using this roll, I'll know whether or not it's something I want to stick with, or if I want to switch back to my Scotch. Scotch has always worked well. And this stuff I bought a couple of months ago because I know me when it comes to card making time, when it comes to holidays, I go through a lot of this. Take this and then just line it up on there so it has a little bit of I'm going to do it this way. So it has a little bit of an edge, and I want to be able to cut off if I have any excess. I want to be able to cut off from the bottom. So I'm going to line this up right about 1/8 of an inch at the top, at the slider end. So that works well. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock Recollections 110-pound 300 GSM cardstock. That's what I use for my bases. It's already cut in half. So it's 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to just go ahead and score that down the middle at 4.25. It's a little big, which is perfect for what I was wanting to do. So I'm going to trim that down just a little, I think about 1/4 inch on the end there. And then for the bottom, pretty much the same. And that looks like we can actually trim that a little bit crooked. So and then I'm just going to adhere this to my card base. This is a bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that back as well. And I don't have the stamps, the push here stamp set yet. I don't have that, so I'm just going to draw some little arrows here to say yes, you need to pull that out. So you don't have to have all the stamps or all the dies to get stuff done. This is turning out really cute, and all it was some pattern paper and one stamp set, and you can use whatever you've got. So there we go for that. And I plan on making a bunch more of these. Actually, my cards, this is crooked. That was slightly off, so let me get that back on there straight. I think that is closer. And there we go. Are you on the list? This guy is so cute. I think on the next one I'm going to actually have it so it slides out a little bit more to give a little bit more room for that sentiment there in the middle. And I think another idea for doing that may be to add it before I add everything else. That way I can make sure everything else is going to fit just right. Anyway, that was my card for today. Again, this one was inspired by a new video that was put out by Jeniffer McGuire. And I've already made about 5 of these. I'm going to make several more. These are just so darn cute. I can't help it. They're adorable. I hope the folks that get those this year are going to like them. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. If you see anything, if you think of anything that you'd like to see me make, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you much, and have a wonderful day.